All right, I'm here with Jared Laurence. He is an expert dating coach. He is also an influencer on Instagram. He has over 100,000 followers on Instagram, expert level dating coach. And we'll be talking with him today, probably around 20 minutes. We're going to have a great time. He's an open book. I have a website. It's joresults.com. Go there. The window is closing. Put in your email and you get a free ebook. And it's 20 pages and it's completely free. And if you're a single man and say you're recently divorced, let's say you've been single for a while, go to that website, put in your email, good to go. You have a free ebook. If you don't do this, you're an idiot. If you don't put in your email, get the ebook, you're an idiot. All right, here we are. Let's talk for a little bit. I have a few questions for you that I'm curious about.
I'm ready.
What inspired you to become a dating coach?
So I kind of fell into it. I never actually planned on being a dating coach when I first started. I was on my way training to be a therapist, and I was really bad with women. I couldn't get a girl to save my life. I had like no friends, like two friends out of my whole high school. And I started learning, everything about seduction and attraction, being on the forums. This is back in 2006. And it got really fascinating to me how I could change because I thought some guys had it and some guys didn't. Right? Like I just thought it was like the James Bond effect. Some guys could walk in and ask for a martini and they're good. So
Yeah.
the very concept that I could learn this as a skill of attracting women and getting these kind of communication skills down just blew my mind. So I became very obsessed learning this, practicing it, working on body language, working on my storytelling and my humor, everything, right? And then I got noticed. I actually remember the first post I did that kind of like blew me up locally in the South Florida scene. And it was when I don't know how crude I can be here, but it was basically a labor report about how I ended up sleeping with a cop inside of a jail. And it was my first like epic story of meeting a cop out in Las Olas, Fort Lauderdale, and then having sex with her in the jail. And so when people heard that, they're like, "Yo, we want to go out with this guy. Who are you?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not used to this kind of attention." So I started getting like semi-famous in the scene here, just in South Florida alone. And then one of the companies, I started taking guys out. They started seeing me, and we would challenge each other, kind of like the fighter scene, but very different. Like we just like go out and be like, all right, let's see what you got. All right, let me see what I got. Like let's wing each other, and it was just very like we're always sizing each other up and testing each other, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the companies down here, Miami dating coach, and he invited me to be a coach for his company because I was just giving stuff for free. I was just helping anybody who wanted to learn. I'm like, yeah, come out with me. Let's go out. I was learning too, just like a year into it. And he's like, you should teach this. And I'm like, bro, I'm not that good. I'm not like one of the experts. I'm still learning. He's like, no, you're really good. You should come teach it. So I actually denied him at first. I
Okay.
said no. And then like 2 months later, he hits me up again. And he's like, bro, I need another coach. This is back in 2007. He's like, I'll give you $25. And I'm a college kid. He's
Yeah.
like, I'll give you $25 an hour to take guys out to the bar and have them approach women. Just push them to approach women. I'm like, all right, it's actually not really bad. Like, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
I'm already going out all the time anyways. Like, I could use some extra money. Screw it. And then it just became a snowball effect. I got more recognized, bigger coaches, bigger names. And then eventually I started, mounting success on my own because I got tired of the way all the bad stuff I saw from all these other industries of how they treated their guys.
Right.
And they didn't take the coaching seriously. They liked the clout. They liked the status. They liked saying, oh, look how good I'm a ladies' man, Madame Blazarian. But they didn't really take the coaching aspect to heart as much.
Yeah. And that's unfortunate that there's a lot of people like that where maybe they're good with women. See, there's what they call naturals, but
Yeah.
even to me, I look at a natural and I think of someone as a lot of times that's a person that gets out a lot or they're very sociable. And even if you're necessarily good with women or you've dated a lot of women, that you still might not like some people can't teach it effectively. So
Mhm.
there's one thing is being good with women and understanding social, like maybe not understanding it, but you just do it, you go through the motions, and then also understanding it, but then also being willing to teach it. being open to teaching it and being consistent and being reliable. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of people like that. So it's rare to have someone like you or myself who is willing to do that and actually spend the time to help someone and be there for them with whatever they need. What would be one breakthrough moment that you had with a client, maybe recently or in the past, where it was a big aha moment and you were very satisfied with what you did?
I mean, hell, just 2 days ago, one of the guys in my program is like, "Hey, I'm, graduating. I got into a relationship. I've been to 40 plus weddings now
Yeah.
from my guys, getting married, having families, finding their dream girl. Um, you know, satisfying. I mean, okay, we can start with last. He's not a client, but this is a guy I met on Instagram. He's another coach. He's a mindset guy, one of those naturals. And I took him out just last night. I'm a little like, just a little hungover, a little lightheaded here. But like, I took him out last night with me, my girlfriend, one of our girls, and he got to see me in action. This guy's like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm usually the one telling guys advice, whatever." And then I'm like, "All right, let's go do stuff. Like, let me show you." And just seeing him be like, this is another level. This is, he was like, what do I say to this girl right now? She's not feeling him. This hot blonde girl in the bar, not feeling him at all. And I'm just like, literally just say this, literally just do this. And then him able to turn it around. And then he got her phone number and a date lined up. And he's like, how, like, what the hell? And so now, of course, he blew my phone this morning, like, bro, we got to hang out again. Come to Miami. I got you, da da da. But I'm like, just little things like that gives me such joy because whether guys are they just feel they get no luck, no success. They're like, I'm too short. I'm not the right ethnicity. I'm not the right weight. I'm too skinny, too fat, whatever the case might be, right? Seeing them make these breakthroughs, amazing. We have one guy in my program, Evan, right now. Evan just lost his virginity like a month ago. All right. And this guy is a Dungeons and Dragon master. Like
Nerd.
he's a dungeon master. Yeah,
Right.
huge nerd, whatever. Now he's doing stand-up comedy. He's getting on stage. He's got his social
That's
circle.
awesome.
He's having sex. He's feeling, and this is like a short, skinny guy, whatever. So seeing those kind of growths is amazing. And then on my other end of the spectrum, I'll get guys who are like, big dick CEOs, make seven figures. I've had guys who are tall, good looking, 6'5", guys who are just like, listen, I get girls, but I want to see what I'm really capable of.
Yeah.
And then watching them work and go from like, yeah, okay, I hook up with girls, I get sevens and eights here and there, and then being like, Jared, like this girl's my dream girl. Like, I'm gonna get married. This is it. I'm hanging it up for this girl now, or building their social circles up. Like I got one guy, Vance, in Las Vegas, everywhere he goes, he brings out six girls with him.
Yeah.
Everywhere he goes now, right? Like he's just like he's dialed in. He knows everybody, and he's just dialed in. And I'm so proud of him. And this was a guy that didn't have problems before,
Yeah.
but he wanted to see what his true potential was, and he's just living it up in his like mid 20s and just killing it now. So whatever the level, it's really cool to see just how further I can get him along.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I spoke with Dell Veller, your good buddy,
Yeah,
a few days ago, and we were speaking about how you, for how much you've improved throughout the years and you've gotten better and you've learned so many things, you still, every year, you spend thousands and thousands of dollars coaching, getting coaching for yourself to
yeah.
improve as a dating coach. And there's a lot of guys in the dating area or niche space that they can't even grasp that. And it's a sad thing because if they can and if they actually listen to this podcast, they'll find out that what you're doing is improving who you are. And it's improving who you are in multiple facets. It's improving who you are with your social skills. It's improving who you are as a dating coach. And every interaction that you have is improved because of you getting more coaching for yourself and your networking as well. And I think that's so fascinating that you have talked about that before and that you do that.
Of course. I mean, I don't think I've ever not had a mentor or studying a course or some kind of coach since 2009. Since 2009, when I had my first taste of it, whether it's, I used to be 25 pounds heavier. I was clinically obese, losing some weight. Whether it was, I used to have I was like negative $20,000. I had 5 grand in my name and I was 30,000 in debt. So I was negative 25 grand to seven figures saved up. I've gone from obviously couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with 5 grand in my pocket to dating, the love of my life who's down to meet women with me. But like even right now, as we speak, earlier, I'm watching a course on how to get more views and go viral. It's called
Yeah.
Viralish. So shout out to Adley. I'm literally like right before this, I'm like, oh, I'm studying like what is a good hook? How do we make it even better and level my game up? Because this getting mentored is one of my three key secrets of success. It's just practice to the point of obsession, just take massive action, tweak everything like a scientist, like a mad scientist, experiment with every little fucking thing, and then find anyone who's better at you than anything you want to get good at. If you're broke, find the people with money. If you're fat or out of shape, find the fitness people. If you struggle with women, you don't have a lot of friends, or you're not getting what you want, find the like. Just I mean, there's a Magic the Gathering coaches. There's coaches
Yeah.
for card games. All right. Obviously, people should have one for the big three: health, wealth, and
Yeah.
relationships. Anything. I have one right now. I just spent $1,000 to learn more about social media. It's fascinating and it leads to success. Usually not just with the one thing, but with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if, let's say, you don't have a lot of money, there's a lot of low ticket and free things you can get too. Just even watching your reels. You have so many
Yeah,
reels on Instagram where you give such great information away for free. Or
yeah.
you can look at my YouTube videos. You can look at so many things and you can gain information from it. I was just looking at his name is Tristan Social. I was just looking at his ebook the other day. I just started reading it. So I think it's so profound and it's powerful and that's great. And that means over the next decade, you're only going to become better, more high status. Your network is only going to increase. You're only going to go up the ranks in this niche as far as I see. And it's only going to be positive for you and for me, for both of us. My next question is if you could collaborate with any coach or influencer who you haven't yet, who would you want to collaborate with and why?
I mean, my first answer, selfishly, is Mr. Beast,
Okay.
just for the views.
Yeah.
I'll just go, just put me on a Beast Games and let's talk about some dating Beast game just for that alone. Like now we've got a show, Insta famous.
Yeah. Yeah.
But beyond that kind of answer, who would most of them? I mean, the honest answer is most of them I have. I can't think of a coach I know or respected and seen and done stuff with that I haven't done some kind of collaboration with. I mean, I guess maybe Neil Strauss,
Okay.
just because he's the reason I got started. I haven't done one with him, but I've been out with Mystery, Adam Lyons, Hypnotica, Steve P, Johnny Saporno, Cosmo from the Beach. Tristan was my boy back in Stevula. We were in the same mastermind when he was first getting started and doing silly YouTube skits in a doctor's coat calling how to lay down the pipe. It was just there. We both didn't know what we were doing. We're both like starting building our brand. But
Yeah.
like I've collabed with everyone major in the scene. Who's he's a guy who's up and coming and he's actually local. I was talking to a guy who knows him and I would like Coach Kyle.
Okay. Yeah, I know who he
I've been
is.
seeing some of his, yeah, I've been seeing
He's in
some of his stuff
Miami.
happen. Right. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, he's in Miami. Love his stuff. Definitely the guy, he knows what he's doing. He's sharp. Definitely would be a cool, like fun collab, I think, me and him.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I like his stuff. He posts every day on Instagram too. He's just always posting and very consistent in what he does. And he has a great, nice following too. He has a lot of followers on Instagram. And what would be, I guess this would be maybe the last question for today because time's been flying by. It's already been about 15 minutes.
Sure.
What would be some goals that you have in the, let's say like the next few years, 5 years as a dating coach for this industry?
Okay, so I mean, my own personal goals, we can call it, financial, get married, more get in shape. But when you're asking my goals on the dating coach side of it, like
Yeah.
what do I want to do with this industry? I want this industry, but I want to happen in this industry what happened to the therapy industry.
Okay.
Meaning this, if you told a girl or told someone you were seeing a therapist in the 90s, they'd be like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
They'd be like, "You don't need a therapist. You're not crazy."
It's much more
But
acceptable now.
well, not even acceptable. It's like hot. It's
Yeah.
like woo, a girl's like, oh my God, I want a guy to go to therapy. It means he's like
Yeah.
working on himself, and like a guy going to therapy, he's just so more emotionally intelligent. The reality is, look, as a trained therapist, women aren't wanting guys who go to therapy. They're wanting guys who go to dating coach. Like they're looking for guys to get more calibrated, to
Yeah.
get more confident, to
They don't
raise
even
their
realize
EQ,
it
to
too.
raise their SQ. No,
Yeah.
they don't. But because in their world, the only thing close to it is therapy.
Yeah.
They're just like someone who can
Exactly.
communicate better, who can listen better, who knows how to build a connection, who knows how to be playful in himself.
Yeah.
They don't want therapy, they want coaches, but the women don't know it yet
Yeah.
because the women are
Exactly.
still guarded. They're
Yeah.
still guarded when they hear, oh, you're teaching a guy to pick up women. Oh, you're teaching him manipulation tactics or tricks. And what I do is I have an open invitation. Any girl that wants to come to any of my boot camps, my retreats, my live events, it is an open invitation for every single woman because every time the same thing happens, they walk out going, so many more men need this.
Yeah.
Thank you. They come in hating, they're ready to like hate on me.
Yeah.
And then sometimes some of this stuff could be questioned. Sometimes you're like, I know that works, but I don't like it. Like it's too good. Like like they're just like, oh right. But for the 90% of it, the other 90% are like, yes, thank you. Oh my God, this is like so loving because we have women, we call them drill girls that will come to these boot camps and work with our guys in person or virtually. We have in my program, my VIP program. We have daily coaching calls. We have live women for them to practice with. Obviously, of course, to go through. Live retreats are included, so you can spend time with me, with my team, with all the girls, account managers, so they can have accountability. Like it's insane how much can go into a well thought out course. But one of the best things is, yeah, I love the women aspect. I like seeing how it normalizes this kind of industry.
That's a very interesting point of view. It's very interesting. It's very unique thinking of it like that because I have never heard any dating coach say that or anything like that. So basically, if that's more normalized, what will happen is men in general are going to be much better at socializing and they'll be more calibrated, and then women are going to be more interested in this area and in this field instead of saying, "Oh, that doesn't work. Don't do that." They'll be like, "Yeah, I think that's a great thing because then he's going to improve his whole entire life by doing something like that." But yeah, I think if there's more of a light shining on the idea of this actually does change people's lives, that would be great. Definitely be great for sure. And I
It's
think it
hard
will
for them to
happen.
hate on something. It's really hard for them to hate on something when you're like, yeah, I'm responsible for over 400 marriages. I'm responsible for I don't
Yep.
even know how many children. I have prevented, to the best of my knowledge, right now, 17 suicides.
Yeah.
But go ahead, hate and tell me how
Yeah.
my profession is hurting people and it's awful compared to what is it you do again? Right? Like, because you're just like, oh, I'm a factory worker at Amazon or whatever the fuck. So like, it's just the ignorance of it because you can look at it at face value and say, oh, you're teaching men how to get in women's pants, but that is such
It's
a
much deeper
disres
than that.
so much deeper.
Yeah.
And that very concept of, oh, you're teaching men to trick women to get in their pants is very disrespectful to women by assuming that they're too stupid to see through tricks on this kind of stuff. What we're doing is we're teaching men how to give women an amazing experience so
Yeah.
women want to take their pants off and connect and be
Exactly.
sexual and be into a guy. That's
Exactly.
that's a good thing.
I love it. I love it. You explain that in a magnificent way. All right. If someone wants to get a hold of you, what is the best way to do it?
You said it. Go to my Instagram, the
That's
Jared
right.
Lawrence.
That's right.
Come to the Jared Lawrence on my Instagram. DM me the word action, and I will hook you up with a free custom game plan with someone from my team. No, not a sales call, nothing like that. I will literally have my guy listen to your story, see what's going on, and he can pair you with my best training. And then if you want more, you can come get more. It's absolutely up to you.
Brilliant mind. And I'll have a link below to your Instagram as well.
Perfect.
Amazing having you on. And to get my free ebook, just go to joresults.com. It's the new shit. And if you don't get it, you're an idiot. All right. So that'll be it for today. Great having you on. Very interesting insights. And maybe I'll have you on in a few weeks if you have some free time and we could talk again.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more insights of what you have and your thoughts. Very unique and interesting concepts and actual actionable things that have occurred in your
Yeah.
life.
I hate the dating coach fluff stuff. There's a
Yeah,
lot of
no,
fluff in
no
the
fluff.
industry. There's a lot of like rah and energy and this and that. I'm like, just tell me what to do, what to say, how does it work, why does it work, what are the mechanics. I always want practical,
Yeah,
actionable things.
yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. I'm all about results, man. All about results.